looking through my hair bag because I'm going to be getting my hair braided tomorrow. My initial thought was to get the boho braids or goddess braids. So I was looking for hair. This goes to show you how long I consider stuff. Like, I literally bought this hair probably like 6 months ago because I was gonna get the boho braids, and this is the hair that my daughter used. So she was like, get this hair. So I got it because hers was really pretty and the hair did not tangle. So about 2 bundles, probably would have only needed 1, but anyway, I ended up getting 2. But then I was thinking, do I want to color this hair? Because as you can see, my hair is not the same color as this. So I would have had to go through coloring it. So I was like, no, I don't feel like doing that. And then I found this hair, which this is body weight switch. This is what I used to do tree braids with. And it kind of does match. This one is a color 30, but I'm not sure if I would want this type of curl pattern for boho braids. So I ended up narrowing it down to just getting regular knotless braids in size small. So that's what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. So my first order of business is to get my roots colored because, of course, with the knotless braids, well, with any kind of braids, you want to go ahead and get your gray touched up before you get the braids done. But definitely with knotless braids because your parts are going to be showing more. So put all of this back, save it for another time. So I ended up adding to like half the tube of the 7NA. I don't know who I thought I was fooling, but yeah. I couldn't find my whisk, so I'm just mixing with one brush and then I'm gonna apply with another brush. So as I was going through this, I was just thinking about how much time I actually put into this when I initially decided to get my hair braided, which was probably about 2 weeks ago. So I spent about, well, like I said, when I bought that other hair, it was probably 6 months ago. So I finally decided to make the appointment. So here I go, coloring this hair. I have a friend who has a friend that has dementia. And before the little precious lady was stricken with dementia, she and her husband, they did real estate. She worked in the church. I think she was like the secretary. And then I don't know what dementia is like, how it onsets. I don't know if there's if you get like little warning signs, like if one day you just start to forget like little things and then it just keeps growing and growing and growing. But the lady has dementia, of course, which affects your ability to remember, essentially, to me, to think. And so as I was going through everything that I was going through with getting this hair appointment scheduled and trying to determine which type of hairstyle I was going to get and what hair I was going to use, and even yesterday is when I was thinking about this, because I was just ruminating over, what if they can't match my hair? Do I need to go get some hair from the beauty supply store, and do I need to blend it together? Because I usually use 30, 27, a little bit of 613, and my base color is 4. I usually go through this whole process. But anyway, it was on my heart to be thankful. First of all, I can think. And then secondly, to be mindful of what I am spending my time thinking about. Now, being a professional cosmetologist, I did hair for over 20 years. It is just second nature for me to think about hair and how it's going to come out and you know, what developer I should use, how am I going to mix this, how am I going to mix that. It's second nature for me to think about those things. But it's like I just found myself like, girl, you are just doing way too much. Just make a decision. And it's like sometimes I just like to be just thinking about it. The outcome is gonna be the same because I twisted my hair so many times. I've gotten my hair braided, I've matched the color. It's going to be the same outcome. So why are you still thinking? I just asking myself, why are you still thinking about it? Just let it go. Let it go and stay in the moment. Stay present. And that is a big deal. Now, the only thing about this fat brush that I absolutely love is it soaks in the color really well, but of course it does not have a little tip so that I can move quickly through the hair. But anyway, staying in the moment is such a profound lesson for me. For one, it stops you from the beginnings of worrying and trying to reach back and change stuff that you cannot change. It also prevents you from trying to reach forward and orchestrate stuff that you have absolutely no control over. And what's more, you don't even know if you're going to be there. So why keep thinking and thinking and thinking? And I'm not talking about planning, because obviously there are things that we have to plan. That thin line is where some of us may get into trouble, because there's planning and then there's trying to control the outcome of a situation. So for me, I'm just gonna let this hair thing do what it do. You have to make the best decision that you can with the information that you have. A big part of it for me is trust, because you hear so many horror stories about, you know, hair or whatever. And this will actually be the second braid shop that I've gone to in Atlanta. The first one, I went there 3 times. Everything was cool. The 4th time, they had some unknowns doing my hair. It just did not go well. So I guess part of the reason why I, you know, was a little bit concerned, why I thought about it probably as much as I did, is because I did have a bad experience. But you can't control everything. I have made the decision based on what I saw. They did my daughter's hair very well. I'm going to do what I can do, which is color my roots. I talked with the lady. She said they had my color. I just have to trust the process. And that is what we all have to do. We just have to make the best decision that we can and trust the process. So I let the color process for 45 minutes. I did not sit under the dryer. I just put on a plastic cap, and as you can see, we are good. Really, it's important to bridge that gap between your heart and your mind. Emotionally, you got to connect with your purpose and with your passion. And that is what being in the present does for you. It helps you to not worry about situations that are in the past that you cannot change. It helps you to not worry about the future, which also is something that you cannot control. We gotta be thankful that we can think, that we have the ability to think, but it's important to not overthink, to not put ourselves in a situation where we're thinking about so many things that are out of our control, because that is going to mess up what you can be doing, what you can control, which is the right now. And isn't that how the devil tries to get us sometimes? especially with people like myself who overthink. I wouldn't say that I'm so much of a control freak. That's what I say, but other people may say, yeah. But those are things that I'm working on. And all I can do at this point, staying in the present, is just work on it. Stay prayerful and stay in the moment. Because when you're not in the moment, you miss anniversaries because you're so focused on something else. You miss birthdays, you miss celebrations, you miss those happy times that are happening right now, because sometimes we're looking back, or sometimes we're looking so far in the future that the people that are standing in front of us, we tend to look through them instead of looking at them. And spending time nurturing relationships that are right now, that are present, because God forbid one day we're not able to think, one day we're not able to remember. God forbid that something like that happens to us. I pray that it does not, but none of us know what the future holds. All we can do is embrace what we have right now. So your heart is so important, because wherever your heart goes, that's where your mind is going to follow. So if you're in a situation, you're in a relationship, you have children, you have work, you have passions and dreams that you have right now, if your heart is not into those things, those passions, if you're not putting in the work to those right now, then you're never going to get that future that you so desire. So when in saying that, we are to dream and, and want things in the future, but we can't just live there. We have to do the work here in the present so that we can get those things that we want, but not to the point where we miss out on everything that's going on around us right now. Staying present will stop you from worrying, and it will help you to build more cohesive, more meaningful relationships, not necessarily so much with other people, but with yourself. Because believe it or not, as much as you think you're in control, when you're trying to plan something that's, a month from now, you're not in control of that. And you know that you're not in control, and that's why you keep thinking about it. That is why you keep thinking about it and keep planning and your little what if models. You know that you're not in control. So just leave it. Make the best decision that you can and leave it. Work towards whatever that goal is, but stay right now, stay present, stay believing, stay in faith, and let God handle the rest. So the next step with this hair, I think I'm going to do a mask on it, because I colored it pretty light. This is actually toned. It's actually, and you can kind of see it, but I think I'm going to do a mask. And then I have this little mixture that I created. It's basically a whipped shea butter with all of my little oils in it. And so I'm going to put that on. And when I get to that braid shop, they better not be telling me that my hair is too oily for braids. That's not going to happen, people. There I go again. There I go. No, everything is going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine. Okay, so now I'm going to apply the hair mask. Let it sit for probably 15 minutes along with the conditioner that I already have on it. And then I'm going to blow dry. My dad told me a story, well, more like an experience that he had. Driving along, and a bird flew past his windshield. And I think he ended up hitting the bird or somebody hit the bird. And he said that, you know, he was just thinking, and he was like, why is the bird flying so low? Meaning the bird was out of position. So I put my own spin on it. The bird was flying too low and got hit by a car. A bird can fly too high and get hit by a plane or a helicopter. But if the bird stays in his lane, if he stays in his position, then he'll be just fine. He'll be just fine. He doesn't have anything to worry about because God takes care of him, just like us. So we stay in the present and not worry about things that are low or the things that are too high. If we stay right in our lane, if we stay right in the present, handle the things that are in the present, then God will take care of the rest, just like the birds of the air. If we just keep our minds focused on him, do the things that we know that we have to do for today, for our loved ones, for ourselves, fulfilling our purposes, our passions, our dreams, then he will take care of the rest as long as we just stay in position, stay in the present. Now I'm going to finish clipping these little raggedy ends. My appointment is in the morning at 11 o'clock. So after it's done, I will come back and let everyone see how beautiful my hair is. And I'm not going to think about it anymore. Good night.